Edition of BK Connect, hosted by Sarah Kustak.
Welcome back to Barclays Center, getting you set for a matchup between the Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. Sarah Kustak with you, filling in for Chris Sheeran on BK Connect, joined by Devin Karparian of the Brooklyn Game, Rod Boone of Newsday. Remember, of course, always, these are the insiders. Reach out to us with the hashtag BK Connect, and we're going to jump right to it. The Nets, short of their last three losses, have been playing very well overall. Sean Livingston, a big aspect of that. Devin, do you believe that he really will become the legit NBA player that he was expected to be?
Yeah, I really think he has become that kind of player. I think, a lot of the talk about him in the past has been his injury, has been coming back from that gruesome knee injury. But at this point, he's really playing like the guy I think he was supposed to be. He's getting into the lane easily. He's able to shoot over nearly anybody in the paint. He's never much of a jump shooter, but he can facilitate really, really well. So I think what we're seeing now is the Sean Livingston that we were supposed to see all along, and it's been a huge help with Darren Williams struggling.
Yeah, and you mentioned the word injury. Injury has been a key word for this Nets team all season. Rod, tonight, Karolinko out again, Blatch is out, also Joe Johnson out tonight. Where do you kind of frame things in terms of what this Nets team is dealing with without
Typical night for these guys. It seems like every night somebody's out. So you get somebody back, somebody else comes back out. So right now with Blatch being out, he's been playing well, obviously, since the last month of the season or so. Him being out hurts him in terms of their depth off the bench. Karolinko, as we know, plays great defense. That hurts him as well. Then Joe Johnson, the last 5 games, he hasn't been really himself out there. Now I guess we know why. He's averaging about 10 points per game, which is not about 6 points below his season average. He's not playing like the Joe Johnson that we know of. So those 3 guys being out tonight shows once again his team has to rely on his depth to be able to win a game.
And this team, I mean, obviously has had, a tumultuous start both in November, December. January was spectacular. They've dropped their last 3. What is the real Nets team? What do you guys think is the true Nets team we're going to see throughout the remainder of this season?
I think we're somewhere in between. I mean, they're not the 10-1 team we saw. They're not the 0-3, 0-4 team either. You know what I mean? I think that they're somewhere in between. This team, again, they have an identity 1 game, 2-3 games in a row, but somebody gets hurt. They got to change things up. So I think until they can go out there, no injuries for a week or 2, line up, stay consistency, I think they will have an identity of just how they're going to be this year, I don't believe.
I agree with Rod. I don't think they're the team that, I don't think they're going to beat the Heat, Warriors, Thunder in succession like that if they have to play those guys. But there's definitely talent on this team. I mean, Kevin Garnett's been great at center ever since Brook Lopez went down. Sean Livingston, like we just talked about, has been a force, and, he can really play off of Darren Williams and the other guys in the lineup. There's a real amount of talent here. I still think they're a little below the Heat, a little below the Pacers, maybe on the same level as the Hawks, who are the 3rd seed now. They've got that talent, but like you said, they just need to have a stretch of 4, 5, 6 games where they have the same lineups, they have the same rotations. And credit Jason Kidd for creating something out of nothing in this last month. But they really need to have that identity continuously.
Yeah, and different mentality, because I don't think we would have seen that old Nets team turn around, respond in Indiana like they did after OKC. All right, so your questions. We have got one from Brendy is Real via Twitter. Is starting Darren and Sean Livingston together a good idea?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that those 2 guys playing in the backcourt together is good for this team. Again, I think Darren right now is more about confidence right now. He has to be able to go out there and just play his game, play free, play happy. With Sean doing the field, point guard duties, take some pressure off Darren. So I think those 2 guys work each other in my estimation out there.
Yeah, I think they're really good together. I mean, you see Sean kind of facilitating the offense, Darren playing more off the ball like a shooting guard, point guard. But the problem with that is that when you get both of those guys off the floor, the next point guard in this team is Marcus Teague, and Teague's not ready to be a backup point guard. So I think for this to work long term, for Jason Kidd to have a point guard out there for all 48 minutes for the rest of the season, they might need to make a move, either make a trade or find somebody in the D League who can play that kind of backup point guard position, because they don't have that right now.
The only issue is you worry about Sean Livingston kind of breaking down. As we saw, he plays a lot of minutes. He wasn't really brought here for that role. So as long as he manages minutes okay, I think it'll work out, but you got to make sure that the guy is healthy long term.
Same with Darren, too.
Exactly.
All right, flipping things over at Chris Alvarez via Twitter. Do you think Mirza deserves to be in the 3-point contest?
Well, it'd be fun to see him, right? Just the way he shoots. I mean, he's the guy I think is kind of suited for the 3-point contest, the way he shoots, because he's a catch-and-shoot guy. He rides the same form every single time. He can catch it from pretty much anywhere, just pick it up and go. He's a shooter, pure at heart. Now, I don't know if he's shot enough, frankly, to get over guys like Kyle Korver or Marco Bellinelli. But he would be a great addition, I think, to the three-point
His
contest.
numbers, he's taking twice as many three-point attempts as two-point attempts. So he's taking a lot of three-point shots.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he hasn't made a great percentage of them just yet. There are guys out there who probably a shot better than him. Bradley Beal is going to be an all-star weekend. Maybe put him out there. So I think it'd be good to see him out there. I'm not sure what's going to happen, though.
What's impressed you most? I mean, a three-point contest aside, game action, what's impressed you most about Mirza?
Well, when you're playing in the game, as you said, the pressure is different. When you're playing a three-point contest, you're out there having fun, you're loose, but some guys feel it messes their shot up long term. So you think about that as well. You want your shot messed up for the rest of the second half of the season. But I think seeing Mirza out there, it would be fun, though. Let's admit, it would be pretty fun.
It would be great. And I think, the Nets already have Joe Johnson at the All-Star game. They've got Mason Plumlee in the Rising Stars contest, so they might not have Mirza go out there as well. But, he's been impressive when he's come off the bench with his shot, when he's in that rhythm. Like, remember that 24-point second quarter a couple weeks back? He really knows how to shoot, but I just don't know if we're going to see him there in the three-point contest.
I know I've got two All-Stars with me. Rod, Devin, thank you so much for your time. And as always, reach out to us with the hashtag BKConnect, and you just may hear your question answered here. That's going to do for us at Barclays Center. Let's send it back to you in the studio.